What's going on, guys? Dave back again. Today we're going to be taking a look at the SMOK TFV12. Just arrived in my hands a couple hours ago. Thought I'd give you guys a first look and my first impressions on it. We'll see. Does it live up to the hype? Does it match up to the Baby Beast and the TFV8 regular? All right, boys and girls, here we are down to the table. Let's take a look at the SMOK Cloud Beast TFV12. Does this live up to the hype? Let's find out. On the front, you have a picture of the tank. Side, you have manufacturing information. On the back, you have all the information about the tank. The kit includes the TFV12 tank, the 1V12 T12.12 coil installed, the V12 4X, and then you have the V12 Q4 quadruple coils, one replacement glass, one user manual, and replacement parts. And then you have all of the usual information that's down on here, though I don't remember it being quite this detailed, but maybe after all of the litigation and everything, they had to put that on there. And of course, not for sale to minors. You have a scratch code on here somewhere. Well, you're supposed to have a scratch code on here, but it looks like they just stuck a sticker on there. Not sure what's up with that. On the other side, you have a shot of all of the coils. Again, I want to give a big thanks to ecig-city here in California for sending this out to me. I like placing orders with them, especially because I get a good price from them, and it usually ships the same day. Since I'm in the same state, I usually get it within a couple days. Sliding out the insert, you get the black box. Says SMOK. Once you open it up, you get a nice shot of the tank. Now, one of the things I do have to say is I like the newer details that they ended up putting on this tank. First off, we'll take a look with this insert out. I do like the way that they always package their stuff. I did end up getting the stainless because, well, that was the only color I could find in stock. Now, this does have the 12 coil system input in there. I like this gear knurling that's on the side here. Now, some specs for you. This holds 6 milliliters. It's 70 millimeters tall, 28 millimeters total wide here at the section. The glass itself is 27 millimeters, 25 millimeters at the base and the very top, and it weighs 91 grams for those that wanted to know the weight. With this 12 coil in here, it has a maximum of 350 watts. Now on the site, they actually tout that this is, and I'm not sure that I agree with it, but on the SMOK website, they say it's healthy, non-toxic, wear resistant, explosion proof. I've never had a tank explode. High temp resistant and leak proof. Well, we'll see about that. All the other ones, I love all the SMOK tanks that I've ever had. Though if you let them sit, they will leak out. They have increased the diameter of the airflow here at the bottom a little bit over the TFV8 standard. This does come in black, stainless, gold, and rainbow. And you do get an option of 2 separate kits. One kit has all the coils in there, and the second kit has an RBA base, an RBA T base, which you can put triple coils in, and there is an adapter to be able to do a single coil in here. Pulling it apart, you get your Delrin drip tip. And on the site, they actually say something about a glass drip tip, but I haven't seen anything about being able to purchase those. So you get your drip tip. The airflow does spin a full 360 on here. I do kind of wish that they put a stop. It is tight. I have not run this through anything. This is just as it arrived in the mail this afternoon. And take a look at that. Holy hell. One thing I would recommend is definitely throw some juice in there to lube this up. It was super tight. All right, with the coil out, you can see way down in the base, just a free open spot in there. No restriction. Get you a shot in there. I would recommend lubing up this seal here. It was super tight to get out. Now, I do believe that these are parallel coils, hence how they're able to call them a 12 coil system. You get your glass, you have your chimney, which appears to be milled in. And as with all SMOK products, which I have come to actually like, you get the lock-in fill feature, which is right there. Machining, yeah, I've seen cleaner from them. You can see the mill marks on here. But it's not horrible. I mean, if you're going to be super nitpicky about it, you can be, but going over what else is in the box, You have your atomizer user attention. You have a QR code. You have your SMOK information, just telling you how it comes apart. In the box, you get 1 extra glass. You get a vape band, which I won't end up using. You get your silica gel. You get some extra parts, being a 510 adapter, some O-rings, some more red seals. I kind of went with a red theme on these. And then you get 1 more seal for the top up here for the fill port. Taking a look at the other coils that they have here. This is the 0.15 60 to 190 watt, best at 90 at 160. You have the lightning bolts on there. You can see that is parallel. Kind of looks like, with it being all magnified, that those are soldered together. I can't tell without pulling them apart, but I'm sure you guys see what I see way down in there. Kind of interesting. Once I get these used up, I'm going to pull them apart. This I did not mess with. It's not seated in there all the way. Look at that. So I would definitely just try and press on that. Flatten those out. You want to make sure when you get this in there, look, it's pushing it out. I'm not even having to do anything with it. So be cautious with that. Definitely keep an eye on those when you get it. Flatten out those leads that are underneath there because it's acting springy. So when you put it into the base, when you think it's down nice and tight, and if it's not, you're going to get some leakage out of there. So keep that in mind, guys. SMOK, I would definitely recommend keeping an eye on that and your quality control of these leads being pressed down a little bit better. Taking a look at the 0.15 60 to 200, best at 90 at 130. This is the quad dual. The machining is okay on here. I actually had to wipe at it because I actually thought that it looks like oil residue that's on there. It's not going anywhere. It's just the plating that's on the inside of the base. There's your fills. You got 1 wide, 1 thin, 1 wide, 1 thin. And that kind of makes sense that they have the wider portion here because you have this section that's smushed together. As we can see on here, there's a little bit of push up from the leads. Not as bad as that other coil was though. Going back and taking a look at the 12 coil. Of course, they rate it at a 0.12, 60 to 350, best at 130 to 200. Looking at the others made me look at these. Normally, I don't have to pay attention to, but yep, it's the same thing. That bottom pin is, this section is being shoved down by those leads. So I think that's one of the side effects of having so many of these coils and everything. You have so much wire that's putting tension against this that it's going to push down. So my recommendation, just make sure that you shove this down. If you shove down the leads, and then when you tighten it down, just crank down on it as hard as you can, just to make sure that you get a nice even seal, because you don't want juice leaking everywhere. All right, let's put this back together real quick, and then we'll fill her up, take a vape. I'll let you know what I think of this beast. And I'm sure you guys can probably hear that. The threads for these bases, they're rough. And look, they're pretty rough. I have to say that going in, it's not too bad, but man, I have not had this problem with any of the TFV8s that I had. So I'm just snugging that down. I did put a drop of juice on there just as a lubrication. Tighten that down nice and tight. And for today, we're going to be filling this up with the Apocalyptic Walker. This is made by Camelot Distribution. You can get this at vaporizenomads.com or CamelotEliquid.com. It's a great vanilla custard. I'm using this one because I know the flavor very well. So we'll see how that comes across. So we're just going to fill her up, put back on the drip tip, and we're going to let her sit for a while. All right, so while we're letting that sit, let's take a look at the 3 renditions of the TFV8 that have come out. You have my grungy, because it gets used constantly, Baby Beast over here. You have the regular TFV8. This is in the blue, which I actually have almost every color of them. And then you have the Cloud Beast King. You can see the bases are pretty much the same, almost as tall as the regular. Difference is that this glass section is a little bit wider than this, and it's got some girth to it. Today, we're going to be putting it in on my own branded Boss 3000 XL. This is actually a number one of my favorite bosses, and I actually have a couple of reviews on these to come with the custom milled sides. This thing is a beast and lasts me a good day and a half or so. Fitting this on the mod sits flush and flat. So let's go back up. Let's take a vape on it and I'll let you know what I think. All right, guys. So here we are back with Letter Prime up. Again, I've got rocking on the Boss 3000 Dave's World Edition XL. Right now I've got it at 100 watts. This is on the 12 coil system. Not bad, super airy. I've only got the air open quarter of the way. Let's kick this up. Coil says best range between 130 and 200. So I've got it set at 130. Flavor is pretty good. I'm sure there's some break-in on the coil. I can kind of get a little cottony taste. 130 is a little warm, but not bad. Let's kick it up to 150. I just got a little spit back, but it's nice and dense. Now this is our original DNA 200, so it'll only go up to 200. I can put it on one of the DNA 250s if I want. I don't have anything to crank it up that high. Though that's just crazy. Why? I'm not sure why you would want to do that. Let's say 175. That's good. Keeps a nice retention of the flavor. It's nice and warm if you like that warm vape. A nice cloud production, dense, falls really well. So yeah, does it live up to the hype? I'm going to give this coil a try. Run a couple tanks through it. Now this is a thicker liquid, but it gets so warm. This is at 85. But it warms up enough. It turns it soupy in there. So you're not going to have to worry about running a high juice through here. I do get a little, like just at the initial, a little spit back on there. I've got my Elmore tip on here, and I actually just messaged him in between the cuts to go, I need a blue tip to go on here because that would look sick. All right, guys, I hope you all enjoyed that. I hope it was informative for you. Definitely stick around. I have more reviews coming, more kit reviews, more vape reviews, more everything coming. I will talk to you guys all later. As usual, YouTube. Peace out.